without further ado, we shall begin with the recap. So, last time we left off, the Hands of Unity were traveling through the forests of the Empire, heading to the port town of Angel Reach. They were sent on a mission to go establish some relation between the Black Order and the Rasa Kingdom. And on their journey, they picked up a humanoid person named Komori and traveled with her. And as the group traveled, they rescued Mararashi, found a safe house that belonged to the Tiefling Rebellion from a long time ago, and kept pushing onward. The party had some trouble with the mask they picked up from the God of Murder's temple, which now settles on Komori's face, and seems to lock away her dragon spear from her. And the party were assisted by the creator of the dragon items, who came during one of their nightly rests at camp. They were given a warning on what's to come with the Forgotten Gods, and Komori, with the unintentional assistance from Otis, unlocked one of their memories. As the group kept on pushing forward during their last night before Angel Reach, the group were ambushed by a squad of hobgoblins that attacked in the middle of the night. With their stealth ability and getting a drop on the group, the fight was tough, almost downing Maze, and limiting the group's ability since the hobgoblins stuck to the shadows. So, not a few party members couldn't really do much since they couldn't see where the attack was coming from. However, the group managed to drive the hobgoblins away after killing a couple of them, and Komori, or NPC Komori, casting fear to scare away a couple of the hobgoblins. And the group managed to drive them off and try to get settled in for the rest of the night. However, during the commotion, they did lose 2 of their tents that got set on fire because of a lightning bolt, and some supplies. However, nonetheless, the group got back to settling in for the night, but Romeo, feeling the need to clarify their intention with the Queen of the Rasa Kingdom, she sent a sending message out to the Queen herself, saying that she was bringing a human ambassador to the kingdom to help establish relations. Rasa replied back to Romeo, questioning about what exactly was going on. However, Romeo didn't have enough spell slots, so kind of left the queen on red. With further probing from Rasa, this resulted in 3 Warforged somehow teleporting to the group's location, even showing a purple-cloaked Warforged who are greatly feared and respected in the Rasa Kingdom, which struck deep terror in Romeo herself. They confronted Romeo about the situation, showing great hostility towards Otis in particular. And Romeo pleaded with the Empress, who spoke through one of the Warforged, about at the very least hearing the offer from the Black Orders out. This managed to convince the Empress to at least hear the discussion. This caused the 3 Warforged to gather the group up and personally teleport all of the group directly towards the Rasa Kingdom, with a fair warning about this may cause some issues with people who have multiple souls/consciousness in their bodies. Without too much questioning about that before anybody had time to question about that, the group was teleported directly to the Rasa Kingdom at this doorstep via a strange technology. It didn't appear to be a spell. It appeared to be some form of technology that managed to teleport everybody to the Rasa Kingdom. And as the group teleports to the Rasa Kingdom, you are not just teleported there, you are teleported almost to the front gate of the capital of the Rasa Kingdom, the capital of Rasa. That's the name of the capital. And there is where we resume. So, as you all teleport in, there are a couple things we need to go over first. So, this is mainly particular to our dragon item wielders. So, we're going to go down the line. Akora. As you go through the teleport, you feel yourself breaking down and then getting put back together. However, when you come to the other side, your mind is quickly bombarded with voices. You recognize the roar of Valerian just violently roaring in your head, and you grip your head and let out a low growl. You shut your eyes tight, and suddenly you feel unknown memories rush through your mind. Or maybe they are your memories. It's tough to tell right now. You see yourself flying through the air, swaying lazily through the sky, and then suddenly shifts to you fighting an army of soldiers and breathing fire against the army, burning them to the ground. And then it shifts to visitors paying tributes to you and your vast, luscious orange forest that you made your home. The memories keep flooding your brain, and it seems both your memories and Valerian's memories are fighting for control, like they're fighting against each other. You instantly fall to your knees and grit your teeth. From your elbow down, you grow orange scales, and your hands turn into claws of dragons. Your face seems to shift and form an odd mixture of a lion's face and a dragon's face, with two horns poking out from the back of your head through your mane. And black streaks of black fur and scales go down your chest and stomach. And you open your eyes, and to anybody looking, one of your eyes is the draconic red coloring of a dragon's eye. And you instantly feel the change as you become some sort of combination of what it is to be you, but also what it is to be Valerian in this horrible combination. Gamori. As you go through the teleport, you feel yourself breaking down and getting put back together. However, when you come to the other side, your mind is quickly bombarded with voices, and you recognize the screeching sound of Aradu, and the sounds of chains breaking and tightening, and your shadow form seems to fluctuate, and your whole right arm seems to solidify, showing a dark yellow scales for skin and a draconic hand, followed quickly by lots of black chains wrapping tightly around your arm, almost covering all of your new draconic skin. And also, both of your legs go through a similar transformation. Your legs solidify and then grow dark yellow draconic skin, or draconic scales for skin, and as well as black chains that wrap tightly around your legs. But not only that, you also get dark red chains that begin to wrap around your body tightly. And on top of you hearing Aradul's screeching voice, you hear another voice in your head. A voice that you don't recognize, but you have heard just once. And that was when you put on the mask. You hear, oh, this is interesting technology. I'm more in tune with your body now. This is gonna be so much fun. And you feel the porcelain mask begins to merge with your face and solidify. It begins to fully solidify your face, but only showing like straight down the middle showing two different sides. On one side is a plain mask with no facial feature, but on the other side is what looks like a draconic face with a row of fangs going all the way, going up your cheek, almost to the back of your head. Mace, as you go through the teleport, you feel yourself breaking down and getting put back together. However, when you come to the other side, your mind is quickly bombarded with voices, and you recognize the roar of Igris, and suddenly all of your visions, the possible futures, rapidly play at the same time, filling your head with even more voices. Too many voices. And you grip your head as your body begins to bulge randomly throughout your entire body, but mainly focusing on your head, like your whole head is beginning to bulge out, and you feel Egris's memories flood through your mind. But this isn't the first time. It's not too hard to separate yourself from those memories, mainly because of the bond you already share with Igris. And as you begin to sort through it out, you try to regain your own form, your own sense of self. However, your whole body freezes when you hear another voice, different from both you and Igris. As you close your eyes, in your head, you see an image of a door. This is the same door that looks like, same door like the basement, in the basement that you found. And it begins to slowly open, not having any chains holding it back. You hear the voice goes, a lost bird, a lost raven. This will be fine. Give a future test to an actual body. Let's talk. And the door fully opens, and suddenly skulls burst out of the door, followed by what looks like ghosts, and then specters, and then zombies, and then actual flesh and bones come out. And the last thing you see inside the door is what looks like a cloaked figure that is towering over you. And you make out what looks like two light blue glowing eyes staring from beneath the hood. And on his left hand, you see a large scythe that seemed to extend forever as it's just staring down at you, Maze. You hear Igris's voice go, I won't let you. And then you black out. As you fall to the ground, your body is the same, but you are knocked out, and you do not seem like you are waking up anytime soon. To Akora, as you regain your body, or at least your new body, and trying to figure out what's going on, you gain some different kinds of perks, I guess you can say. First off, I'm doing this in your character sheet right now. Your strength is maxed out to 25.
Oh yeah.
Your max health is reduced by 25.
That's fine.
You gain fire immunity. Your voice is filled with a horrible mixture of a roar between a dragon's roar and a lion's roar. That means a creature gains disadvantage against your daunting roar. And you also gain the ability Dragon's Fire Breath.
More fire.
So that is what you get.
I can work with that.
And don't worry, I'm adjusting. Boop, boop, boop. Your new max health will be 59. No, keep that in mind. Kamori.
Mm.
Same thing happens with you. You gain a couple of interesting abilities. First things first. Your charisma is maxed to 25.
Well then.
You gain the spell Corruption Curse, which you can use once a day. I'm putting that in your spell sheet. You are covered in thick chains, so your natural armor is equal to 18 for right now. Natural armor is equal to 18. And your speed is reduced by 10.
Ah.
So your new walking speed is 20 right now. And you gain the spell Frenzy, which you can use once per day.
Oh boy. Interesting.
And they should be in your character sheet now, so you can give them a look over and take the moment to see what they do.
Alright.
All your other changes should be registered now. Okay, so all of y'all have, in different degrees, successfully teleported over. As Romeo and Otis, y'all feel weird as y'all teleported over, but you come to the other side, and y'all both kind of have the same reaction as y'all look and you see the giant, almost citadel-like capital just towering above you. Romeo, I'll ask you, do you think in your lifetime you have ever been to the capital?
I think probably.
Okay. Then, the familiar sight of the great capital of Rasa stands before you, and you recognize all the different types of buildings that hold many, many interesting treasure. Otis, you're looking around and you're seeing the majestic kingdom of Rasa, and you're already making out so many different things compared to the Empire. You're seeing what looks like dragonflies made out of metal and gear just seem to be zipping by, and some you see like two are permanently like rotating around you, like they're orbiting you, just staring and locking eyes on you. You're seeing many, many different kinds of Warforged are walking around as well. Very, very, like a variety of different designs in Warforged. You're seeing Warforged that have more musculature in their arms that seem to be carrying heavier equipment. You're seeing giant Warforged, some that stands about 10 feet tall, that seems to be helping with construction. You're seeing the road that you're standing on seem to be perfectly paved and cleanly uptake, and all y'all are seeing nothing but tieflings surrounding y'all. So, what do y'all do?
That's actually amazing. Akora's going to like sort of stare in awe for quite a bit, and then also be extremely confused as to what the fuck just happened.
Yeah, what? Maze is unconscious on the ground, right?
Yeah, Maze is knocked out.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna go pick her up.
What was that? Why? Is that supposed to happen?
I don't teleport, so I don't know.
You see the three Warforged that are around you. They kind of just look over the group. They look at Okora, then Komori, and then finally Maze, who is unconscious. And the one in the purple cloak with the yellow sash kind of just tilts his head looking at the three and goes, interesting. Never thought three of y'all would have different kinds of souls in y'all's body. We usually just say that as a precaution. Fascinating.
Hello.
You seem unstable, though. This effect should wear off sometime.
But can we have a moment before we go meet the Queen?
Let me think. Let y'all try to figure yourselves out, or keep the queen of the entire kingdom waiting.
I mean, that means to go take us to her, or we're gonna go.
The issue is the person who's sort of the main ambassador of this organization that, knows a lot more than I do is passed out.
We were told he was the ambassador, and points over to Otis.
He's one of them.
Okay, then he should speak perfectly fine. Or is he not needed? And you see one of the Warforged, their arms seem to shift into an actual cannon and points slowly aimed at Otis. And
Cora's
just
gonna immediately just get in front of like, no. He's with us. He's fine. He's good. He's
Very, very much needed. Very much
he's
needed.
my emotional support human. And I'm just gonna lightly pat Otis's head.
you see the Warforged in the purple cloak kind of just still staring at you, Romeo, and just raises one mechanical eyebrow at you and goes, Miss Romeo, you really need to be honest.
Okay, here's the thing. So all of these people who are here that are not me are ambassadors of this organization. However, the elf has been with the organization the longest. She is sort of, I don't know what the word is, an advisor of sorts?
Yeah,
She's the smart one, essentially.
She is the leader of the group?
No, not the leader of the group, but, she's sort of the leader of this little group,
And she's the one that has to know the person we report to the longest out of all of us.
Well, Romeo, you informed the queen that the human was needed and was the ambassador. You didn't mention anything about anybody else that need to be conversing with the queen. So you can understand that we have some issues here. At this, at the sound of the word issues, the third Warforged, one of their arms turns into what looks like a longsword, and the other arm turns into a shield. And at the sight of this, there are like tieflings and warforges that are walking by you, and they're immediately looking over, and they're seeing the commotion, and then they're seeing the one in the purple cloak. And there are some tieflings that are quickly moving away, and there are other tieflings that are kind of just observing, and some are like pulling out what looks to be an advanced version of the weird weapon that Otis and Romeo were tinkering with. Seems to be holding on to it, just observing what's going on. And there's a few other Warforged that are stationary, and they're just waiting for orders as they're looking at this group.
Well, I assure you, none of that will be necessary. None of that is necessary. It's just, look, I mean, what do you suggest we do with her while we meet with the Queen if she's not going to be there? Do we just bring her there unconscious?
Obviously, that would be a poor sight for the Queen herself. So we will, we will treat her since she is a guest here. We will bring her into the castle and get her checked out by some of our doctors.
All right.
But the rest of you seem fine. So, someone needs to talk to the Queen. Or, I can just teleport all y'all back and leave y'all there in the middle of the forest as you are now. Although, I'm not 100% sure what will happen to these three if they go through it one more time.
Well, if that's sorted, I'm sure that it'll be no problem for us to speak with the Queen.
See? I'm sure you will all do perfectly fine. Well, either that or we'll just gun you all down. Depends on how the Queen is. Then, come along. Let us go.
I like living.
And you see the one in the purple cloak immediately turns towards the gate and begins walking forward. And you see the other Warforged are still like kind of flanking y'all and just waiting for y'all to move and follow after.
I'm following suit.
Yep.
I guess Komori is taking Mace's body because no one picked her up.
I'm
No.
gonna carry her.
Okay.
Yeah, Agora said that he was carrying her.
Did not hear that.
Otis, what about you? Yeah, okay. Fair. Y'all get ushered in, and as y'all make it to the front gate, you are now staring at the giant walls that are surrounding what look this capital. These are huge walls, and y'all can make out on the walls. You're seeing what looks to be these long thick cylinder tubes that seem to be pointed out, and you're seeing Warforged and black painted armor are manning the walls, and you see that they're like there seems to be a rotation, just scanning the path in front of them. And as soon as y'all get closer, immediately all the Warforged on the wall immediately look at the group, and they seem to just be focused on each and every single one of y'all as they're scanning further and further. And as you all look and just seeing these giant metal gates, you see the purple cloak figure is still walking to the front gate, and you're seeing two giant, about 8 foot tall Warforged on either side of the gate. These Warforged look massive. They have thick plated armor. They seem to have being designs of almost similar to Giant or Goliath in design. Broad shoulders, what looks to be thick metallic muscles, and they both just look at the group, then look at the purple cloak, and immediately the door begins to open by itself. And you see the purple cloak figure turns around and looks at y'all and goes, "Normally, I wouldn't be the one doing this. So, you all must feel very honored for someone in my position to do this. So, welcome to the capital of Rasa. Here is the future. Now, since you are all guests, and you see he snaps his metallic finger, and you see a tiefling woman immediately rushes over. You see the tiefling woman seems to be in very, very plain dark blue clothes, and it just seems to be very, very plain looking, just dark red skin with two horns that are curved out. Vibrant purple hair that seems to be tied up in like a business bun. And you see she steps forward, looks at the purple cloak Warforged, bows her head softly, and goes, "It's good to see you once again. Are these visitors?" And you see the purple cloak goes, "Yes, the queen has requested them." And you see the tiefling woman looks over, and then her eyes lock onto Otis and goes, "Even that one?" And the Warforged goes, "Regrettably so. But don't worry. If he so much as say the wrong thing to the queen, we have full permission to gun him down." And you see he locks his eyes on Otis, like a clear warning being sent his way. And the purple cloak goes, "But for the meantime, give them the usual badge." And you see the tiefling woman nods and goes, "Of course." And begins going up to each one of y'all and presenting what looks to be a yarn neck, like a not a yarn, a threaded like lanyard, and on the bottom it seems to have different colors cards that are attached to the bottom. And you see she goes over to Akora and presents a lanyard that has a red card and holds it up to you, Akora, because she's only like 5'6". So
I'll kneel down so she could do it.
She looks at you and goes, "Thank you so much," and puts it on you, then runs over to Komori and puts on a similar one, a lanyard with the red card, and goes over to Otis, looks at Otis, gets another lanyard, but this one has a black card, and puts, not really puts it on you, just kind of just throws it at your face. And then goes over to Romeo. And you see she gives a very warm smile and goes, "It's a pleasure to see you, cousin. I hope
You as well.
you have a good time in the capital. But you know the rules. Make sure you're not, at the very least, caught trying to buy certain items from here for these people."
Of course not. I wouldn't dream of it.
We hope so. And gives Romeo what looks to be a lanyard with a green card, and puts it over her neck, and gives you
Legal, guys.
get legal. Gives you a smile, Romeo, and he kind of gives a short bow before turning around and going back besides the purple cloak figure. And the purple cloak Warforged just looks at the group and goes, "I'll give a short summary of what these cards are about. In the capital, there are, of course, shops and stands and what have you, selling all kinds of merchandise. Those with the green cards only being our cousin here, Romeo. She can is allowed to purchase whatever item that might be up for sale in this city. Those of you with the red card, y'all only get access to very, very limited supplies. Because a lot of our goods here is very advanced for what's outside of this country. And we don't want any of it getting out. So, with these red cards, you'll only be able to buy what's relative close to the outside world's technology. And those who have the black cards, y'all are forbidden for buying anything here. Now, I hope you enjoy your stay. But we are going to be making a beeline towards the castle. So, let us go. And you see the purple cloak immediately turns around and begins walking. And you see the tiefling woman bows her head towards the purple cloak and gives a wave, like a small wave to Romeo, and then just looks at everybody else, kind of neutral expression. And then as Otis passed by, there's a hint of a glare as she turns back around and goes back to whatever she was doing. And as soon as y'all walk past the gate, you are immediately welcomed to the side of smoothly paved roads, flooring that's filled this entire walled off section. You're seeing vast buildings, what looks to be a mixture of both metal and stone, and some even have. There are a couple that still have wood for walls, and just a mixture of different kinds of buildings as you'll go further in. And not too far away from y'all see what looks to be a giant tower that seems to stretch up about 50 feet tall, just towering over everything else. And on the front, you see what looks like a giant clock just ticking by. And as y'all are looking around, you're seeing tieflings everywhere. All different kind of tiefling with a vast variety of colors just walking by. You're seeing some are socializing, some are laughing. There are some kids playing around, running around. And as y'all all just taking this in, Otis, you're seeing all of this. And not only are you making out the tieflings, you're seeing some tieflings have what looks to be a mechanical arm that seems very, very advanced. And you see that some tieflings are even showing it off, just showing off the detailed metal structure of the arms. And you're seeing what looks to be wires inside the metal chassis instead of veins. And the fingers seems to be a smooth, almost like rubbery texture as they're flexing it off. And you see in one motion, one of the tiefling's mechanical hands peel back and a sword pops out. And you see the tieflings like motioning to it. And then they look over to y'all's group and immediately the sword retracts back and they're just all stare. Like, as y'all pass by, many tiefling are looking y'all's way, kind of confused on what's going on. And there are even some tiefling that are shooting disdain at Otis in particular, just looking at him and just shaking their heads. And even some at the sight of Otis are immediately drawing out what looks to be an advanced version of a pistol and just looking at Otis like they're just waiting for a reason. What is your response as y'all go through this giant city? And very almost alien city to some of y'all.
I am going to be Otis's guard dog privilege. So
I was gonna say Komori's gonna kind of come up behind Otis and like
he has big dog privilege.
Do the creepy head tilt thing that she likes to do. They like to do.
We are both his guard dogs.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm gonna like hold out both of my hands to both of you guys to take. If you can take a hand.
I will hold your hand.
Komori won't take his hand, but they're still there.
Fair.
Very, very obviously still, like, right there.
Maze, still unconscious.
Yeah, I'll just reach for Maze's unconscious hand.
Alright, so keep walking. Roma, you're walking on these streets and you're walking by. In the weird circumstance, it still feels good to be back home with with your people and with the technology that you're used to growing up with. So you still get that sense of home as you're in the capital. You haven't visited the capital very often, but it's still a nice sight to see all the tieflings running around and all of them. Every single tiefling so far has given you in particular a friendly wave, a smile. Some that are even passing by, they're all like, "Hey, good morning, cousin," or "Good morning, cousin," and they just keep waving as you keep walking by.
trying to act incredibly normal.
And seems fair. Well, I'll go ahead and make sure y'all see exactly where y'all at. As y'all keep moving forward, you see that there seems to be a second layer of walls that seems to surround the castle and seem to surround some taller buildings are on the other side of the wall. And as y'all keep moving forward, just clarifying, are y'all seeing the map or no?
I don't. It says I don't
see
have a
black.
token with vision.
This is supposed to have vision. What the fuck is wrong with you?
And mine's just black. I don't know if that's on purpose or not.
There we
Oh,
go.
there it goes.
Oh, I can see it now.
There it goes.
Very nice.
Alright, cool. So yeah,
Those look cool.
you've seen this vast cities with many different houses and the giant clock tower and in the distance that you are passing by. Cars are passing by, and it seems very familiar to the buyer, as it just seems like another busy city. Although, Otis, you're quick to notice that you look to the side at some of the carts. Some of the carts seem to be made of what looks to be metal, and they're being pulled by what looks to be a mechanical horse that seems to just be just pulling on the cart. And there's even some carts that don't have horses at all, but they're moving on their own. So you're quickly
People
taking.
see them if they have witnessed death.
Say that again.
If we have seen death, can we see what's pulling them?
You're trying to see if. Sorry.
It's a Harry Potter
That's
reference.
the reference.
Oh, I got you now. I was like, what? Well, if that was the case, y'all have seen plenty of death, so.
I don't think Romeo has ever seen someone. Well, no, because you guys killed a bunch of people in front of everyone.
We kill people every day.
Yeah.
So, y'all, Otis, you're just marveling at all of this that's around you. And as y'all keep moving forward, y'all then start to enter what look to be a market district. And at this market, you're seeing many. It just seems like a familiar market from the Empire. You're seeing people behind stands, and they're shouting out, trying to get people's attention. And you're seeing they're holding all a variety of different kinds of items. You're seeing some of them are showing off what looks to be different kinds of variety of guns, and just showing them off. And you see that they're showing how to unload it, load it back in. And you're seeing some. Otis, you're quick to point out that a lot of these people behind that are manning the stalls, a lot of them seem to be, you're able to tell since you are one, a lot of them seem to be artificers. As you see that they're showing off their creation, you're seeing, you're hearing one, as you're getting closer, you're hearing a lot of shouting. Some are saying, with this, you can fire 20 shots a minute. It's very, very effective. You won't even have to reload until you run out of shots. Please, this is the best product you can find around. Another shouting, going, with this, we can make, this is a portable fireball, which you can toss at your enemies, and it will explode in the distance. We are calling this beauty a grenade. Rasa herself approved the design, so you know this is quality. And you're seeing another one goes, another one seems to be in, this one in particular seems to have like what looks to be a white lab coat, and seems to have like a much nicer stall compared to everybody else's. And you're seeing in this stall there seems to be different kinds of beakers, vials with different kinds of a variety of different kinds of liquids, and you're seeing this one, this tiefling woman in a lab coat with bleach blonde hair that's tied up in a ponytail, and two tiny horns are peeking out, going with her light purple skin. She seems to be holding out what looks to be a it looks to be the same size of a pistol, but it seems to be white in coloring, and goes, people, please, this is a one of a kind right now, as this is still a prototype. But we are calling this the spell gun. For all you spellcasters, you can channel your spell into this gun to make your spell even that more effective. Now, please, we are always accepting test subjects who test these items out. Like I said, fair warning to all of my cousins out here. This is still a prototype, and we will greatly appreciate any kind of support and any kind of test or trials y'all may have. And we will obviously cover any kind of damage that this might cause any of you, because we're all friends and we're all family here. Do I have any takers? And you see some tieflings are going up to stands and going, oh yeah, I'll take part in the trial. Oh yeah, anything to improve the technology here. Yeah, let's go, let's test this out. Let's figure what we can do out. And you're just seeing multiple different kinds of items. You're even seeing the equivalent of a pet stand, as there are different kinds of mechanical birds. You're seeing a mechanical monkey. You're even seeing a mechanical, almost similar in design, a mechanical bear. As they're being shown off, these mechanical creatures are just stationary. You're seeing that they're mainly made of gears, like clockwork designs. And the man running it, just showing them off, seems to be just trying to get people's attention. But you're seeing all y'all are seeing all kinds of, to all you except Romeo, vastly different alien kinds of either weaponry, items, or just stuff in general. Like, y'all have never seen any of this kind of technology. But Romeo, just another walk through the market for you.
I just realized this is would be very, very, very strange for Komori.
Yeah, you're just
Even because some of the normal stuff is new to her.
Mm-hmm.
So this is new to them. Oh my gosh. This is nice.
And as y'all keep moving forward, being led by the purple cloak, you'll quickly get by the market district, and you approach the second layer of gates. And in front of, or next to this gate, you're seeing giant, nearly 20-foot statues of what looks to be a tiefling woman and riding a horse. And you're seeing the tiefling woman has a cloak wrapped around her, and seems to have a sword in one hand and a shield in the other. And Romeo, you look up, you see the statues, and you know these are depictions of Rasa herself. Although loose depictions, but they're still supposed to represent Rasa. And as y'all get closer to the gates begin to open by themselves as y'all get closer and closer. And now, getting past the second layer, you get past and you hear the purple cloaked warforged say, "In this district, normally, dear cousin," looking at you, Romeo, "normally, dear cousin, sorry to say, you wouldn't typically be allowed here, because this area is where the main family is usually resides, the head of the family. So usually you wouldn't be allowed in here, but you got invited by the queen, so fuck all these privileged assholes. You don't have to worry about them, because for the meantime, I am in charge of you. So if they dare try to insult you in any way, don't worry, we have ways to correct the issues. So be at ease, cousin."
You're not going to kill them, right?
Only if they know better.
Alright.
Come along.
Just gonna keep walking.
As he guide y'all further and further in. And in this district, you're seeing giant, what looks to be manors and mansions all along on this side of the wall. You're seeing many different kinds of Warforged in now different colorings. Like there clear appears to be different factions in this district with Warforged and some Tiefling soldiers who are walking by. And you're seeing many well-dressed Tieflings who are walking by. Some of them are looking over and they're just glaring at all of y'all with disdain. Some are lessening their glares at Romeo. More just curious on what the hell is someone her status doing here. More in that curiosity. And then all of them lock onto Otis. And they all just immediately goes, how? Like you can hear one of them goes, how dare a human walk into this district? Do you see he's going to the capital, like the castle itself? Oh, we cannot have this. And you see some of them are like looking at some of their Warforged, and they're like pointing at Otis, and then they look over and they see the purple cloak Warforged is locking eyes with them, and immediately those Tiefling goes, we're busy, right? Now I'm sure they have it handled, and they immediately disperse. And you hear the purple cloaked Warforged goes, sometimes the patriotism of our fellow cousins is a bit miffed here and there. We don't mean any kind of harm to most of you. It's all in good faith.
I think I understand like the disdain for our companion here.
With all due respect, you do not. Only one of our kinds can possibly understand what we've been through. But I appreciate this estimate, nonetheless.
Yeah, I did not mean to offend.
Oh, don't worry. Let us continue.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut the rest of the way.
Mori is full on glaring at these Warforges now.
As you keep going, you finally approach the now personal walls of the castle. Same thing, you're seeing stone statues on either side of the gate, and y'all quickly let in. And as y'all enter the castle ground, you're seeing these this giant castle that seems to stand about 40 feet tall, just towers nearly it looks like they're reaching out to the heavens themselves. As you're going closer in, the entire castle seems to be a mixture being made of metal and stone, and you're seeing lots and lots of Warforged and purple colored armor, and all of them seem to be holding what looks to be these looks like an extended version of that weird pistol that Romeo and Otis were tinkering with. And Romeo, you can recognize these, that all of these Warforged are carrying rifles, as all the Warforged are immediately scanning around. And as soon as y'all group walks in, they are immediately tracking all of y'all as y'all walk further in. And you see the purple cloak Warforged who's leading y'all is going, don't mind them. They are a bit enthusiastic about their job. So I wouldn't recommend giving a bad twitch. But don't worry. If for some reason you do accidentally do a twitch and your arms gets blown off, we have great doctors that will make sure to treat y'all properly.
Of course.
as the purple cloak figure keeps walking forward, y'all enter the castle grounds, and as y'all enter the castle itself, and entering the castle, you're seeing what looks to be the entrance area of the castle. You're seeing two sets of stairs that seem to go up on either side to a door on the second floor, and two hallways immediately to your left and right that seem to stretch on almost forever. And you're seeing many guards are inside, and you're seeing tieflings, very, very well dressed, are walking by. Very few compared to the market place, but some are walking by, and immediately one of the tieflings comes up. This one is in a similar white lab coat and with dark purple skin and white, pure white hair that's cut to her, like to the bottom of her neck, and walks up and goes, "How should I help?" And the purple cloak goes, "Well, this group is on their way to see the queen. She is expecting them. Oh, we also had a little incident with three of these people are... it's the multiple conscience situation with these three." And you see the tiefling woman goes, "Ah, I see. So, are we going to wait for it to clear up, or should we get them immediate medical attention?" And the purple cloak goes, "Oh, no, they're fine. It should be fine. But that one over there, the one that's knocked out, we should probably get her taken a look at, just to be safe. Because, we wouldn't want to be poor hosts, especially to an elf, and to a Shadar Kai in particular. So we should get her taken care of." And you see the tiefling woman go, "I understand." And looks over, and you see two Warforged in white armor. They seem to be thinner in design, but they immediately run over to the tiefling woman. And the tiefling goes, looks over at you, Akora, and goes, "We will take her from here. We will make sure she gets rested and treated."
I'll hand her over.
You hand Maze over, who is immediately picked up from underneath her arms and her feet, like hoisted up by the two Warforged, and goes, "Thank you so much. We will take good care of your friend. We are off now." And you see immediately the tiefling woman turns around and begins walking down the hallway, being followed by the two Warforged who are carrying Maze as they go off. As the purple cloak figure looks at the group and goes, "Well, is everybody ready to meet the queen?"
Nervous nod.
Mori just gives deadpan blank stare. Creak.
"As you say, cousin." And then looks at you, Otis. "And how about you, human?" Smart lad. Turns back around and begins leading everyone up the stairs and through the door. As y'all enter the door, you're immediately greeted to a large open room. You're seeing purple banners that are being hung down, and what looks to be on the banner. You see a symbol of what looks to be a strange yellow creature with 4 arms and different kinds of flare behind this creature on the banner. On these banners are hanging up from the ceiling all the way to the ground. These dark red on carpet that seems to lead all the way to a giant throne. The throne seems to go all the way to the ceiling, which the ceiling is about 20 feet tall. So this is a massive room. You're seeing that there's different raised platforms that are raised on either side, and rows of chairs on each side. And there seems to be also different kinds of booths up near the top. And on the opposite side, looking at the throne, you see that it's empty. And as the purple cloak figure walks close to the throne, you see that he looks at the throne and goes, she said to bring y'all here as soon as possible, but I guess she lost the time.
Hey, let's get down.
No. I guess she lost the time, so... And you see the purple cloak figure turns around and looks at you, Romeo. Say, cousin, I got a question for you.
Sure.
I don't know if you have ever been. I'm not sure why you would be able to get the chance, but do you want to go see the labs in here?
It would be an honor.
Now I have another question. Do you think the rest of them should be allowed?
I don't see why they shouldn't be.
Dear cousin, I love your... what's the word? Innocence? But we gotta be careful now. We've been having issues with some stolen technology here and there, and we just want to be careful that, and you see he looks over at the group, none of these people steal from us, dear cousin. So I ask one more time, if you are sure and we find any stolen technology, this will be on you, dear cousin.
They wouldn't do that.
If you say so. Now, come along. And you see, he immediately turns around and begins leading the group to a side door that seems to be directly to the right side of the throne. And opening the door, he leads you all further down steps, seemingly going down further and further floors of steps until arrives at this weird looking rectangle door. And you see he walks up and goes, I believe she would be on floor 30 if I remember her projects correctly. And you see the purple cloak warforged reaches up to the side of the door, pulls open what looks to be a panel on the side, and presses a weird looking button that's been numbered with the number 30. And as he presses it, you're seeing a light blue magical energy just illuminates it. And then y'all hear the sound of shifting stones as the doors, this weird rectangular door, slides open to the left. And you're just seeing this small little box on the other side. And you see the purple cloak goes, please, step inside. As y'all step inside, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Okay. As all y'all step inside, it's somewhat cramped as y'all are almost like shoulder to shoulder inside. The purple cloak on Warforged steps inside and presses a button on the side, and the door slides closed. And you see the Warforged kind of standing there, turning, facing the door that y'all came through, and goes, "Don't freak out, don't jump, and don't break anything. Since this is y'all's first time." And immediately y'all feel your whole surroundings begin to shake and shift. Like you're feeling what almost feels like your stomach is starting to come up as you feel momentum driving you further and further down. Like y'all can feel yourself move, but you aren't 100% sure how this is happening. And before y'all have time to question more of it, you hear a ding, and the doors slide open again. And now on the other side, you're seeing a vast room. Like this room stands about like 10 feet tall, and it seems to be nearly 200 feet wide. As y'all enter this room, the tiles on the floor seem to be pure white, and above on the ceiling, you're seeing what looks to be white magical balls of light that seems to be illuminating this entire room. And as you're walking by, Otis, you're taking notice as you're seeing a somewhat familiar sight, but it's familiar in the terms of it's weird seeing an outsider's perspective. You're seeing what looks to be many, many different artificers, like working on different projects. You're seeing some are like one project you see looks to be a tiefling man, and that looks to be making. It looks like a exoskeleton of a warforge. Like there's bits and pieces that are removed, and you see that it looks to be just a skeletal version of a warforged. It seems slightly bigger, like standing roughly about 7 or 8 feet tall. And you see the tiefling man looks at another tiefling and goes, "Okay, climb on in, and we'll begin test 36." And you're like, okay, whatever you say, boss. And you see the tiefling man begins to mount inside the exoskeleton and begin to strap himself in. And you hear the tiefling man, the first one, goes, "All right, commencing experiment 36. We're going to start with some basic movements, and then we're going to go to strength tests." You hear, "Roger, Roger, 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 Roger." And then you hear him go, "And commencing." And you see the straps that tiefling is wearing inside his exoskeleton begins to hum with purple magical energy. And you see the tiefling man holds out his arms and begins moving them, and the mechanical arms that he put his arms through begin to move with them, and begins to like moving. He's like doing high knees, and you see the tiefling scientists are going, "Okay, everything's working out. Good. Thank God it didn't explode again. All right, we're good. We're gonna do some strength tests. So let's have you walk over to this testing facility." You're like, "Roger, Roger, Roger," as they begin to slowly walk away. As you keep on going, the purple cloak figure is leading off further down the room. And then you see another tiefling man in a white lab coat walks up to the purple cloak warforged and goes, excuse me. What are they doing here? They're not supposed to see any of this. Everything here is like pre-alpha. Like this shouldn't be seen, especially by one of those things over there." And points over at Otis. Yeah, they're not supposed.
Immediately cover Otis's eyes and his ears.
Like, "Oh, Thank you. That's much appreciated. What the fuck are they doing here? They're not supposed to be here. Why are you all here? And you see the purple cloak just looks at him and goes, "We are here to see the queen. The queen requested them. And let me guess, she is still working on her project, isn't she?" And the Tiefling man goes, "Well, yeah, it's the next possible step, so I don't know why." Oh, I see why you're here now. Okay, she should be down in her main lab. All the way down the hall, first door on the right. You should probably knock before entering, because I know she's very, very hush-hush about what she's working on. Okay, bye. Have a good one. And to you all, don't steal anything.
Of course. I think I have like a fabric thing in my bag. I'm gonna lean down to Otis. I'm like, I'm probably gonna have to blindfold you for a little bit. Do you trust me?
The pain.
Are you okay, Otis?
As y'all are going through this, you suddenly, the whole room shakes as a loud explosion on the other side of the room erupts. And immediately all the scientists stop what they're doing and they peek their heads over. And then they're just waiting. And you hear a feminine voice go, "Clear! Sorry! My bad! Wrong wire! I was testing out enough automaton. I'm sorry. My bad." And you see some of the tieflings just shake their heads, and one of them goes, "I swear, this human woman just somehow gets in here, and she thinks she can run the place. What the fuck ever. I don't know. Let her be. She's still working on her perfect automatons. Well, whatever. Just keep on going." And then you hear another one goes, "Yeah, but she introduced this, like, transforming nature between the automatons. It's rather fascinating if you give her a chance." You hear the other one go, "No, I don't want to give her a chance. She barely lets any of us into her research. She said the only one that's allowed to help her is her personal assistant, but she won't even give us the name. It's dumb. Humans are weird. Whatever. Let's keep on working." And the purple cloak just, "Sorry, that happens every now and then. Anyways, let's keep going." And immediately the Warforged look at you, Otis, and going, "Have something to say?" "Oh, you do? Well, that's nice. Come along." As y'all keep on going away from where the explosion was, the purple cloak figure goes over to a nearby door and knocks on it, and then silently, like, patiently waits and goes, "Sorry, give her a moment." And then after like a minute, knocks on it again, and then slowly opens the door and peeks his head in and goes, "Your Highness, I have brought the people you requested. Miss Romeo's group." And then you hear, "Bang, bang, 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 boom." And you see the Warforged slowly closes the door and goes, "She's on her way." And after more crashes and noises, and you hear what sounds to be a crack of lightning, very similar to the pistol that was fired with Romeo and Otis, a tiefling woman steps out. Dark gray skin, pure yellow eyes, vibrant purple hair that seems to be tied in a long ponytail, that seems to have like different connection, like different words escape me. Different kinds of length, and a two horns that go all the way up, and she walks in, and to people who may have seen royalty before, you Romeo, you recognize that this is Rasa herself, and she's in her engineer outfit, which is a simple black loose pants and a white like a white muscle shirt that's cut off under like above her stomach. And you see that she has what looks to be welder's goggles on her forehead, and both of her arms are covered in gauntlets, like black metal gauntlets with different kind of colored gems on her gauntlets. And she steps out and closes the door and goes, "What do you want?" And then looks at the group. "Ah, right. Of course, I apologize. I got caught up with my work. Shall we take this back to the throne room?" "Oh, right. I should probably get dressed." And you see, she reaches, holds up her gauntlet and presses one of the colored jewels, and immediately a bright light envelops her body, and soon all the smudges and soot that was covering her face and her arms immediately clear up. And now she's no longer in her outfit, but she's wearing what looks to be a long, dark, like black dress with a purple, like a light purple sash wrapped around her waist, golden shoulder guards that are covering her shoulder, and her black dress seems to come all the way up, covering like all the way up to the top of her mouth, just covering her mouth. And the main reason is because y'all take notice before she changed is that the left side of her face, like from her cheek downwards, seems to be a huge burn mark that's that covers her entire left side of her cheek all the way down to her shoulder blades down below.
I see this and I'm gonna like instinctively like touch my electrical scar. Just without thinking.
And just so we can give a clear picture, this is what she looks like. As she stands there and crosses her arms, she goes, "Now, let's get out of this lab, please. There are some stuff here that are still being worked on and don't need to be seen by any of you." And she looks over to Romeo and goes, "Oh, my sweet daughter. It is good to have you home once again." And
Rose is gonna very slowly turn towards Romeo
No,
and
not.
blink a few times.
I'm just gonna whisper to Akora. Not actual
Okay.
daughter. It's sort of a thing that, we're all family as tieflings,
she
It did not just hit my guitar with my elbow, no.
that's right.
If you say so.
Walks over to Romeo and gives a smile, grasps your hand, and goes, "I hope you had a safe trip outside of the kingdom. It's a very interesting world out there." And you see that she looks back and forth and then leans in. "But did you, scam some humans while you were over there?"
I, may have.
That's my girl. Okay, enough of this. It is really good to see you once again, my dear daughter. And lowers, pulls uh, her dress a little bit down and gives you a light kiss on the forehead before pulling it back up, covering her mouth. And then releases your hand, gives you another warm smile, then turns to the rest of you, and her smile is gone. She is immediately in a neutral face, just staring at you all.
I'm gonna immediately drop to one knee and bow my head because I'm scared of her.
Mori is going to loom over Otis.
Yeah, this is more of the face she's giving y'all. And you see the figure, Rasa looks at Akora and just raises one of her eyebrows. And then looks over at Komori, tilts her head and steps closer to her and goes, May you give me your name, please?
Mori.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Komori. I assume... And you see that she looks over at the draconic arm that you now have and goes, I assume that's not normal.
No.
Judging by that, we are still working out the kinks of the teleportation spheres. There's still some bugs we need to work out. But if I'm not mistaken, that usually only happens with consciousness. This might be far-fetched, but do you have a dragon item?
Horse stance back up. Not saying anything, just standing up.
I got you.
Yeah, Komori is just gonna kind of tilt her head in like as creepy a manner as she can, or they can, without, use of their shadows right now.
She just seems to look at you, not really phased by any kind of creepiness that you're trying to give up towards her. She just kind of stares at you and gives a slow nod and goes, Very well. And what about you, my lion friend?
I am Akora of Clan Emberi. It is an honor to meet you.
Well met, Amber Eye. Do you perchance have a dragon item? Or are you normally like this?
I do. I wish I looked like this normally.
Do you mind showing me your dragon item?
Do I still have it with me?
Yeah, it's still with you.
I will pull out my shield and show her.
She begins looking over it, and you'll see her eyes kind of... it seems like there's a twinkle in her eyes as she's staring at it, and goes, Very interesting. It always fascinates me that these dragon eyes can come in different shapes and sizes. We're still conducting an experiment on the spear we recently acquired. Yeah, but that's enough of that talk. We will talk more about this later. This group has intrigued me a great deal. Mostly. And then looks over at Otis. And immediately her neutral expression goes down into a sour look. She just stares at Otis. And just waiting for Otis to try to make eye contact with her. You see Rasa just looks at Otis and goes, At least he's smarter than most humans. Let's go. And the queen begins leading y'all out of the lab. And as y'all get closer and closer to the door, the last thing you hear, boom! Another explosion goes off, and the same voice you heard earlier goes, "Sorry, that was my bad again. I apologize. I will. I might need some help with this. Does anybody want to give me some help, please? I had an electrical accident before, and well, I just need some help. Anybody? Guys? Anybody?" And y'all exit the room. As y'all exit the room, y'all go through this same elevator type device, and y'all get transported back up and go into the throne room, where the Purple Cloak Warforged, who is still with y'all, guides y'all in front of the throne, and Queen Rasa herself stands onto the throne and sits down and kind of crosses her arms and looks at y'all. And now sitting in on the throne, you see, as soon as she sits in there, the throne immediately begins to light up. There seem to be lines and strands that seem to illuminate a dark purple light that seems to go all the way to the ceiling. And at the ceiling, the light strands seem to fill up the entire room. And on each wall, you see what almost seems like small waterfalls are starting to come down. At first, it just seems like a rain and ripples, but soon, as they go faster and faster, it seems to be almost like a clear wall of water. And soon after that, almost immediately right after, projections are illuminated on the water, and you see what looks like a huge map of the Rasa Kingdom seems to peer out through the water. And on another one, you're seeing what looks to be tiefling, like two tiefling people, a man and a woman, that seem to be talking to each other and looking like at y'all, and just talking with each other. And you see what looks to be words are going across the bottom, very much like a news channel. And you're seeing another one has projections of what looks to be different kinds of graphs that seem to be projections of like crops, the economy, just different kinds of projections are on these small like waterfall type devices. And you see the queen herself sits down, who is sitting in her throne, just looks at all y'all and goes, "My name is Vivian Rasa, first of her name, the mother of all tiefling people, the one who liberated the tiefling race, who fought against the Empire centuries ago. You are here because I allow it. Let's make that perfectly clear. Now, my dear daughter here, Romeo," and you see Rasa looks directly at you, Otis, and goes, "I've been told you are an ambassador of some kind representing this order, and you may have some form of alliance you want to establish with me. I am willing to hear this out. So please, in my presence, human, you are allowed to speak."
Very desperately trying to make eye contact for like Romeo for reassurance. Like this is like okay to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sort of like nod.
Um,
Hey, lad.
hello, Your Majesty. Uh, I being in your presence is very terrifying. Um, it's so cool. I've dreamed of this for years now. Ever since my mentor Uriel just kind of led me on to this path, and
Stop.
where
Who did you say your mentor was?
Ariel Weismer.
Huh. So the apprentice actually did manage to get in here. Fascinating. Continue.
Uh, well, so ever since Lady Weismer took me under her wing and showed me the ways, she left me this note saying that they need us, and I kind of took that to mean that she wanted me to help with something. And so I took it that I should hit the road and gain some courage. And
Stop.
I think she wants to
I
go.
did not ask for your life story, human. Get to the point.
well, Your Majesty, it's been almost 2 weeks now, and I've found myself with this group here, and in those 2 weeks, I have indeed come across this organization, the Black Knights and the Empress. Um, there's a lot going on, if I'm to be honest. I don't really recall everything because of the whole ordeal. And I did not myself take an oath to line with them simply because I wanted to try and do everything on my own terms, improve to you all that I might be able to do it all in a roundabout way. But that being said, I think that the grand goal of the organization is there's a network of vampires that we so happened to see while we were there, and there was a chromatic dragon that made an appearance. The mother of dragons. Um, so it were, or so I believe. It,
Stop. You see, she looks over at Romeo, then looks back at you, Otis, and goes, I was told you were an ambassador for this organization, yet you swore no oath to this organization, and from what I've been told, you've only been a part of this organization, or at least come into contact with this organization, at a bare minimum. You speak of vampires, and you speak of chromatic dragons, and now you speak of a mother dragon, whatever that means. My interest is getting very, very small the more you drone on.
So, out of character, what exactly was it we were trying to get out of this? 'Cause I completely forgot.
Some sort of the Black Empress wants some kind of like alliance with the Rasa Kingdom, particularly because of the god that's loose.
Okay, Akora is going to step up and say, "If I may, Your Highness." God
Hmm.
damn it! I'm using your accent.
Hmm.
Um,
You
we
see,
also.
holds up her hand and goes, As much as I appreciate your company over his, in my throne room, I did not give you permission to speak.
He's gonna bow his head in acceptance and back away. With a quiet, "My apologies."
Accepted. Now you, human. Please, tell me the truth. And you better tell me the truth. Did one of my daughters lie to me about you being some sort of ambassador?
No, I haven't really told the rest of them what happened. Um, as we all were asked to partake in the oath, it was like this very intimate sort of thing. Romeo himself was not really invited to. So, in truth, Romeo just didn't know that I didn't take the oath to become part of the Black Knights. Um,
So in this scenario, the one who is at fault is you. Very typical of a human. Very well. You, human, are done talking. Looks over at you, Akora, and goes, You now have my blessing to speak.
Thank you. So, for the long and short of it, the Empress is looking to forge an alliance with you and your kingdom. As not only do we have, as my companion has said, the issue with vampires that are slowly becoming an even greater problem, and there was a a deity of which we do not speak their name, unleashed, and with your people's amazing creations, perhaps we would have been able to do something. Will not like take your belongings and your knowledge, because that's your whole thing. Um, just any assistance to us for protecting this world, because we believe this deity seeks to end it, as we know.
A secret organization in the Empire, fighting vampires, and now a forgotten deity. Your tale is quite the pill to swallow.
I just
should-
nod.
And you say you can't speak his name because.
What was the reason? He grows in power.
Yeah.
you don't know it. You also don't know it.
You just know the title.
Yeah.
Well, from what I can guess, if he may become more powerful as more people become aware. So I think that's how certain entities work. Forgiving, I'm not entirely certain on this creature's nature, but he is very powerful.
The power of fate is a powerful tool that can be easily corrupted in hands of certain individuals.
Oh, oh gosh.
Hmm?
My apologies. I have to say I'm basically just going to tell her the majority of how this deity took over. What was he, a Grand Fae? Archfey?
Archway.
That the deity had taken over an very powerful Archfey, and like everything is becoming worse.
Hmm.
And he calls himself a deity of madness. He was terrifying to fight. We barely made it out of that skirmish alive.
The deity of madness. That's quite a claim. And possessing an archfey. That is an issue. Especially with there being a tear over in the Elven Kingdom. Hmm. You are done speaking.
I just nod and lower my head.
Rasa's eyes lock on you, Romeo. And goes, one of my beautiful daughters. You have my blessing to speak. And all I would like to know. How long have you been with this group?
Not very long. In all honesty, it's been like maybe a week, but they saved my life. I was being chased by some humans, and they could have just left me there to die, but they didn't, and so I have reason to believe they're good people.
And is this how you want to pay your life debt that you have to them?
It is, and if I may, I may not have been present for this fight against deity, but if something like that truly did get released, I mean, I don't know what it could do to all of us.
You see, she kind of slouches back and looks up. Have they mentioned anything about where they found this forgotten deity?
It was in a temple somewhere. I don't know much else about it.
Romeo, my dear, please be silent for now.
Nod.
Looks back to you, Okora, and goes, you have my permission to speak once again.
So out of character, Seth completely forgot everything about where and what that place was. But in character, Akora is basically just going to tell her I guess the important bits and information.
One of these days, you just gotta write this information down.
I know.
Okay. We'll say for the sake of things, for
Thank
this
you.
For this time,
For this session.
you begin giving a rundown of the city of Jernima, explaining what happened, and talking about the temple. And I'll say, as you as you finish wrapping up, you see Rasa kind of lets out a sigh and goes, That does explain a lot. You have given me much to think about. However, I still can't trust or validate everything you have said or have claimed. So, why I'll do my best to confirm on if what you say is true. You all are going to do something for me.
Nod.
Good. There is a city in the north west of my territory. Rasa didn't mess up. I messed up. Respect towards the queen. There is a city north west of my territory. And it is called Gilvain. I want you to go to that city. Because at this city, nearby is a cave. And in this cave, we have been getting reports that a dragon has been stirring. And we believe that dragon is about to wake up. Prove to me that you all are worth my time. I want you to travel to Gilvan and take care of the dragon problem. I don't care if you kill it. I don't care if you convince it to leave. I don't care if you convince it to go back to sleep. Yes, we are aware about that dragon. We are aware that the majority of this area could be argued is his territory. We set up a loose agreement with that dragon, under the condition that it remains asleep and doesn't bother us. But the fact that it's waking up is, as you can understand, an issue. So tell me, oh, great dragon item wielders, do you think you can take down a dragon in his lair?
Gonna look between them and just nod. Whoever wants to speak, but he hasn't been addressed. Simon didn't say.
No, you still you were explaining to him to Rasa about the situation, and she hasn't rescinded your privilege yet.
Oh, okay. Then Akara would say, "Well, with all due respect, my lady, it wouldn't be much worth your time if we couldn't.
You
And
see,
if we fail, then you know."
you see the very edges of her mouth quirks very slightly up in a smile before it quickly gets removed and goes, "Well said." Very well. And she stands up and points over at the group and goes, "As ruler of the Rasa kingdom, the most highly advanced kingdom in all of the lands, I hereby give you a quest. Go to the city of Gilvan in my territory. Find the cave. Go in and take care of the dragon that sleeps within. And as you know, within my territory, those lanyards are still valid. But my dear Romeo, and you see, Rasa turns her attention to Romeo and goes, "You have my permission to use any of the technology we have as long as you remain in my territory. You have my permission."
Nod.
But my dear Romeo, make sure you don't share any of that technology with the others. If the others are caught wielding such technology, they will be executed on the spot. Do I make myself clear, Romeo?
Yes, Your Highness.
I didn't give you permission to speak. Do I make myself clear, Romeo?
I'll just nod.
Good. I would hate to want to put down another tiefling. I am tired of killing my own kin that can't follow the law. We do these things to protect our people. We do these things to make sure the outside world doesn't come down on us. My dear Romeo, I do these things to protect you. You weren't alive during the Tiefling Rebellion. Perhaps your parents will inform you about the hardships, if they haven't already. I say this out of kindness, Romeo. Please be careful, and please respect the law. Now for everybody. Go forth. Go take care of the dragon. If y'all have any business to take care of here in the capital, whether it's shopping at the market or have any questions for me, please ask. You have all of you have my permission to speak, one at a time. Speak.
I have no questions. Cora has no questions. So he stays quiet.
Okay.
May we go and check on Maze, or will they be sent to us once they're feeling better?
Maze. And you see the purple cloak warforge looks over and goes, one of the other people who were teleported in, but they had a bad reaction to the teleport. I think they had more than 2 consciousness in their body. Well, we're looking after her. A Shadar Kai, so a very sensitive situation. And you see the queen goes, I understand. We are taking care of her, and we will, depending on the moment, we might be still treating her with whatever we have. So, you might not be able to see her just yet. But rest assured, if she ever does wake up, I will make sure to send her your way.
Hmm.
Any other questions? Very well. Since there's no more questions, you are all dismissed. Good luck on your journey. And to everyone besides one of my dear kin, enjoy the sights while it lasts. Because once your mission is done, you will be immediately kicked out of my kingdom.
Just nods.
So enjoy it while it lasts. Dismiss. And you see she leans back down, and you see the purple cloaked Warforge like straightens up and looks at the group and goes, "Well, you heard her. Out." And begins
I'm gonna lead us all out then.
as you all turn around.
Bowing respectfully first, then leaving.
You all turn around after Akora gives a bow. Leads back out and out through the double doors. And as the double doors open, you'll walk out to Akora and Otis. I don't think Kamori nor Romeo have seen this person before. But Akora and Otis, you look over and you see another person is walking by you heading into the throne room. You see the person is wearing a black cloak that's very clean in design. It looks like it's made of silk. And very, very clean. But one thing you both take quick notice is the face. And at first you think it's a dragonborn. But then you focus on it. And that face looks more like a mask. As the figure just walks by y'all and seems to be heading into the throne room.
Okay, duly noted.
Out loud, I'm just gonna say, is that the creator?
No clue.
I
wouldn't doubt it if it was.
As you say this out loud, you see the humanoid figure immediately stops. Tilts his head. And then slowly turns around. And you see the cloak that's wrapped around tight around him. All you see is the black dragon mask that's covering their face. You don't see any eyes or anything of the sorts. And you see the figure tilt his head, kind of looks over at Akora, looks over at Komori, and then looks back at you, Otis, and goes, "Let's make one thing clear. I am not the creator. I am the man who is going to kill the creator. So, let's be perfectly clear. If you ever mistake me for the creator again, I will burn you alive. And if you two get in my way," and looks over at Akora and Komori, "I'll make sure your dragons eat you from the inside out."
Duly noted.
Good kitty. Now piss off. I gotta talk to the queen. We're doing such wonderful experiments on a sphere we just found. "Oh, Rasa, we need to talk." And begin to stroll in. And at the sound, you hear what sounds like a gunshot just shoot out towards the person. And the person seems to get hit in the shoulder with what looks to be, it almost looks to be a line, like a straight line. You almost miss it, like it's a blink if you miss it. But it looks like a line made of pure light that hits him in the shoulder. And he kind of winces back and goes, I mean, the queen herself. We have some more experiments to do. I apologize for my rudeness. Now please don't shoot me again with your little laser gun. It's very... It hurts a lot compared to the other ones. And you hear Rasa herself go, then don't disrespect me in my castle. And you see
My own home.
and you see the figure goes, I apologize. They just got me riled up. Who are they, by the way? We have much to discuss. And you see the two doors slowly begin to close behind them. And you see the purple cloak warforged just kind of looks at Joel and raises a mechanical eyebrow and
That was terrifying.
and goes, do you know him?
No, but I don't think I want to.
I absolutely want to know.
Otis,
Oh,
your curiosity is going to be the death of us. And I mean that not literally.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother getting to know that person. And in my own opinion, they have a couple of bolts loose in their head. Yeah, I mean, the only reason Her Highness even allows him anywhere near us is because he brought a dragon item here. It's the only reason why they're allowed in, because he gets the queen herself gets to do some experiments on the item, try to figure out how it works.
That must be the spear she mentioned. Or that was mentioned.
It's a very weird item. Keeps on turning into goop, and then for some reason turned into an elf. We're still trying to figure out what that means. Anyways, let's get going.
the spear itself is turning folks into goo.
No, the spear is leaking goo.
Oh,
It's like some black substance that leaks out, and there had been a case where it leaked out enough where it formed into an elven woman. And
wait a moment, Cora.
Let's not dawdle out here. We can walk and talk.
But isn't that kind of like cutting eyes at the Warforged, like, and Nanta. Oh, what does this elven woman look like?
Otis is so fucking adorable.
you're speaking as if you have an idea of what this orb is.
You've got so many ideas.
You're very strange for a human. Well, no, that's a lie. I met stranger humans before. Most of them ended up dead.
It's an orb.
Well, don't we all die eventually?
Some quicker than most.
Or we'll remember that.
Good.
And do you know why they want to kill the creator?
It's beyond me. I don't care what that person does. It's not our business. We're just interested in the dragon item.
I am too. Though I'm gonna go like up to a core now and like take his hand. I think you should take me away now.
I kind of agree. Curious little dork. he's very excited over all this technology. I
Quite.
think I don't know. He just finds it fascinating from what he says.
Mm-hmm. And it totally doesn't appear that that he has an idea what this orb is. So
Well, I
Akora now does, and he hates that.
I can't be certain since I've only laid eyes on it just very briefly. But in those moments, oh my goodness, it was very vivid and very nightmarish. Very hard to forget. So, if it's the same thing that I'm thinking it might be,
There's gonna be trouble if it's that thing.
why don't y'all two describe it to me, and I'll confirm if it's the same.
What was it, like an orb that had a bunch of eyes that poked out of it, or just sometimes dripped? I just like oozed all this dark goop. God, I don't remember what that orb was like entirely because it's been so long.
mm,
I think it would like
well,
manifest as some horrible creature, but if it manifests as an elf, that's its previous owner was an elven woman.
and it didn't seem like they got along, from what I understand.
You know, it was
Um,
he almost killed her. They
What was the elven woman's name?
Laurie.
Fascinating.
Fortunately, she is no longer with us.
Tragic. With this bit of news, you all might not be allowed to leave just yet.
Cora will just nod. There's no point in hiding anything when we are seeking allies and answers.
Quite. And we're also seeking answers as well. Isn't that right, my Empress? And immediately the doors to the throne room opens back up, and the Queen walks forward alongside the man with the mask, and the man with the black dragon mask steps up, and Rasa goes, "You had an encounter with this purple orb, and you even know the name that it keeps crying out."
Yes.
Fascinating. And you didn't know any of this? And looks at the person with the dragon mask and goes, "We just found it. I don't know what you're expecting from me.
How did you get it?
Hmm?
How did you get it? That was given back to the creator. Or, that one we don't speak of
Right.
in your presence.
Right. Here. Come closer. I'll tell you my secret." And you see he begins looking around, leans in, and goes, "You see, I have a magical unicorn that comes in, and I can send him out, and he'll poof into magic of rainbow and gold." And he came back and just shot out the orb.
You're just bullshit.
okay,
Of
well,
course.
with wonderful answers like that, I think that we can very much see that we're of much more use than you are.
Oh,
You don't even.
I'm gonna cover Otis's mouth immediately. Like, no,
I mean, he's
you're
not even told the truth.
Ooh.
We do not need to cause any fights or anger anybody. We are here as guests. Otis.
You best listen to Valerian there. Or else I can give some tips to Aradu over there and see try to loosen her chains up a bit. And then we can all have fun in the Rasa kingdom. And then you hear Rasa goes, "You think I'm gonna allow you to cause any more trouble in my kingdom? Watch it." And you see the person in the dragon mask goes, "It's all in good fun, my lady. We are just playing around as fellow dragon item wielders. I apologize. It's all in good nature." And the queen just goes, "Mm-hmm, sure." You all, before you leave, come with me. And turns around and begins heading to the door on the side that leads to the lab. And you see the person in the mask and goes, "Ooh, goody! We get to go see it. Come on, Valerian. Come on, Ardu. I know you want to see one of your siblings. Let's go." And you see it seem to kind of skip away following after Rasa. And you see the purple cloak Warforged go, "Y'all have fun in there." So, I'm assuming y'all all follow after?
Yeah.
I mean, I think my mouth is being covered up still, so.
Yeah. Does Komori hear Ardu throughout any of that?
Nope.
Okay. Does she hear anything? They hear anything?
Take a moment and focus in and trying to figure out if you can hear anything. And all you hear is the rattle of chains. And you hear what sounds like whispers coming into your mind. Do you focus in on it?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
They have their answer. Good.
You focus and fill your head trying to drown out the whispers. And I'm assuming follow after?
Yep.
Okay. Romeo, you do the same?
Yep.
Okay. Y'all fall after the...
Oh,
go ahead, Otis.
I'm gonna like try my best to get like Akora's attention, and kind of like tap on his shield.
Akora, you are muted right now. I'm not sure if you're aware. You're getting the silent treatment right now.
Oh god.
Just continues to poke. Uh-oh.
Ah, okay. I got you. Oh, again. Breathe, South. Breathe.
Use your lungs. It's okay.
Stop dying. Why are you breathing in smoke like that? Just such a hassle. Oh, that's what were you gonna say?
I think Akora is still covering my mouth. And if I can, I'll try and wiggle my way out.
Okay.
Just kind of like tapping on the shield and just saying like, "Mr. Valerian, we've really got to talk to you urgently."
I'm back but dying. What's up? What? What? What am I needed for? Sorry.
We're being escorted, and I've just been tapping on your shield.
Okay. Can help.
Breathe.
I'm trying. Just continue what you're saying. Pretend that I'm not choking.
And I'm just tapping on the shield, and I've tried to wiggle my way out, and just for the sake of it, I'm like whispering to the shield, "Mr. Valerian, we need your help."
Would Valerian be able to respond, or is that just so?
Do you reach out to Valerian?
Yes.
Okay. You focus in and extend your mind out to reach out to Valerian. You don't get any response.
This again. I don't think he's gonna be able to come out. I can't hear him right now.
Oh, I see. I understand. It's because, and I'm like tapping on your like heart. He's already part way out. I think. Uh, Maybe I just have to tap deep within your inner self, and I mean, he's already poking through. Why? Uh,
It's
it,
okay. It's okay.
Akora is actually coughing up black smoke.
Yes. I took some bad catnip. Yuki.
oh, well, Mr. Valerian, sir, if you're in there, I have so many questions to ask you because I think you might be the only one here right now that could help us out in the situation. Um, and Mr. Core here could really use your help as well. That's all.
As he's saying these things, Dakara's gonna keep trying to reach out to Valerian.
Okay. You keep on focusing and trying out to reach out to Valerian. And as you focus more and more on it, just trying to find um, the voice. After a good 10 seconds of you trying this, you know that it usually doesn't take this long. You usually get the sense of where he's at. But it's quickly hits you. The sense of nothing. The sense of him not being there at all.
Settling.
Yeah, you can't sense Valerian at all. Like he's no longer in your mind.
Been a part of me? This isn't good. Not at all.
What's happening?
There's nothing. He's not there.
Uh, not at all. Kind of turning to Komori. Anything from Aradul?
Not since before the mass.
Hmm. So maybe it's not just this place with the limitations on the dragon items and the soul limitations. So this is perplexing. Is Lady Rasa still like in
Hey,
line?
are you coming or what?
Um,
We're all still going.
Yeah, we're
yeah,
following.
yeah.
I think we're just
Yeah.
walk and talk. Have a panic attack while walking.
Lady Rasta.
You see Rosek just stiffens up a bit and goes, "What do you want, human?"
Is this the first set of dragon items you've had in the kingdom?
Rasa immediately just hooks a thumb and points at the person next to him wearing the dragon mask, and you see he kind of just reaches up, and on his fingers you see what looks to be a silk glove covering his hand, and looks like it doesn't look like claws on his tips, but it looks like more metal jewelry that are in like points on his finger and tips, like basically like extended nails. That he looks up and goes, And he kind of hops on both of his feet and goes, "Oh, do you have questions about dragon items? Ooh, I bet you do, little human. You have not seen. Well, no, that's a lie. You have two dragon items next to you, and boy, they are going through it. If I had to guess, a teleport issue, was it? Yes, Valerian and Adadu certainly looks very different than how they usually do.
So it's normal for complications to arise to this caliber.
It varies depending on the items. Some of the items fully merge with their wielder. From the looks of these two, it's kind of a midway point. And most of the time, it takes either an hour to 2 days for it to fully fix itself. If I remember all the techno mumbo jumbo that Rasa tried to explain, you all basically got broken down into these little tiny, what were they called? Balls, molecule, I don't know what they're called. These little tiny building blocks, and y'all got broken down. And when y'all teleported over here, you got slammed back together. The problem with that is regarding the souls. The souls also got broke down and meshed back together. And that's why there's a caution with teleporting when you have multiple souls in your body. Both souls got broken down, and since normally only one soul is supposed to go back to the body, that's the template that the teleporter use. One body, one soul. So one body and two souls, that just doesn't make sense. So naturally, they got mashed together. But don't worry, souls are strong, and they should sort out their own individuality sooner or later, and they'll separate on their own. Although there are some side effects here and there that could possibly be some issues. But it shouldn't be anything life-threatening, and if anything, it should deepen the bond between both wielders and dragon spirit. And ooh, I am interested in Valerian Adadu's deepening bond. Especially you. And points at Yukamori and goes, "You are just so fascinating already. And I already see the chains that bind her are wrapping you. But I don't recognize the red chains. Red chains are new. I don't remember Adadu having red chains. Weird. What has happened to you, Adadu? Please tell me."
I'm gonna try something possibly stupid. Can I try and remove the mask?
Yeah. You.
Just not gonna say I'm doing it, but I want to see.
Okay. You reach up to the mask, and you begin feeling for the edge. You don't feel an edge of the mask.
Ooh, that's concerning.
Like, you don't feel it at all. It seems to have merged with your skin. And as you kind of tap away on the edges, you see that the man in a dragon mask just looks at you and goes, "Something you want to share with the group?"
In lieu of responding, since Komori is not intelligent in the slightest, they're gonna try and rip the mask off their face anyway. Since nothing stopped them from touching their face, so.
I need you to make me a wisdom check.
Oh, dang. It's higher than I thought it would be.
Okay.
Fully expected nat 1. That's funny.
You reach up and you dig your fingers into, one one set of fingers and one set of claws into the mask. And as you dig in, you feel it puncture your skin, and your face is starting to bleed. Do you still try?
Yeah. Like,
Okay,
if they
so
can touch it and try and do harm to themselves in the area, they're going for it.
alright, so on the way to the elevator, in front of everybody, in front of Rasa and the man with the dragon mask, you dig your fingers into your face and begin to pull on your face. And as you pull, I need you to make me a strength check for me, please.
This would be interesting. Don't you just love a feral?
Oof.
Oh, well, yeah.
You
No.
asked for it.
But I did.
You begin to pull with all your might, and as you pull, you can feel more and more blood is falling off of your face, and you're just trying to yank it off, and you're feeling skin and muscle tissue are starting to burst, and clot, and blood is just forming more and more down your cheeks. And you see Rasa just tilting her head, just looking at this. And the person with the dragon mask has not moved an inch and just staring at you as you keep pulling and pulling. You take. Wow, really low rules. Only 8 points of piercing damage as you're
I was expecting big.
desperately trying to pull, but the pain is numbing your fingers to do any more. You can't pull off the mask. You can keep trying though, but that is your call. And before you do that, you hear Rasa just goes, "What are you doing?"
Not gonna respond. And since no one has tried to stop them yet, they're gonna try and keep pulling their face off, essentially.
Okay. I need
Oh,
you to roll me
If I-
Nobody has done anything yet.
another wisdom check.
Yeah.
I think everybody just got stunned right
if
now.
Yeah.
if I see you trying to do this again, I'm literally going to say, Kamori, what are you doing? Uh,
Someone
Lady
has,
Russell.
like, negative intelligence. That's some wild wisdom saves.
As Komori's pulling, I'm just like very quickly explaining for them. I think that there's like a cursed mask attached to them, and it's somehow become home on their face, and they've really not taken kindly to it, as I imagine most people wouldn't. And we don't really know what to do with it because it makes them kind of volatile.
Romeo, what about you? What are you doing in response to this?
Like, nobody.
Just fucking stand, like, complete shock. Just has no idea what to do.
Oh, I probably need to give myself damage, huh?
Uh,
That'd be smart.
Akora, what about you?
I'm just kind of in shock watching.
Yeah.
I might try might try. Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
I might try out and oh my fuck. Ollie, I think I took too
Yeah.
much.
You'll get there eventually.
I just forgot what I was going to say. Try to take the thing off her. Stop her from hurting her face.
So you're gonna try to restrain her?
Yes, that's the word.
Okay. Well, first of all, Kamari, you take 20 points of piercing damage.
Oh.
As you
Thank-
dig more and more in, and you begin to trying to pull, more blood is seeping out, and you're feeling tears are going across your cheek as you dig further in, and you're trying to yank it out. Komori, are you gonna try to resist his Akora's restraint?
Yeah, wouldn't I be passed out though?
How much damage are you taking?
No, that's the other thing. How do I do that from the character sheet since I can't click on my thing and do that? Oh, we have the party token.
If you go to the little like person icon in the menu, you should have your character sheet in there.
Yeah, is it just the same to take damage?
You just click on it and it'll.
Like, are you asking how to subtract from your character sheet?
Yeah, since I can't do the easy way right now.
With that, you're just gonna have to. I don't know if there's a way on here to do the whole negative thing.
Okay.
We're gonna have to do some math.
Yeah, let me pull up my calculator. I was pulling it up because I wasn't sure. Let me pull it.
You can act like Miel was saying. You can access your character sheet through the actors tab.
I'm
the
at 6 points of health.
Oh.
Okay. Then yep, just on the character sheet. If you go over and click on your hit points, like click on 34, it'll highlight it and just put 8 and then enter. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm at 6, so. There we go. I think I have to, yeah, I'd have to do the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Since
Yes,
you
I
said,
will try to resist.
okay, since you're gonna
I will
resist, I need. Komori, how do you want to resist? Are you gonna try to contest his strength, like break out of it by force, or are you gonna try to dodge out of the way?
Dodge. Yeah.
Okay. Akora, I need you to make me a strength check, and Komori, I need you to make me a dexterity check. Akora gets it.
Yay.
Akora, you wrap your arms around Komori and grab onto her hand and yank it away from her face. As Komori, you are overpowered by Akora, and the blood's still seeping down. Now the gnarly gashes you inflicted into your face just seeping down. And you see Rasa is just looking at all of this. And then Rasa slowly turns her head towards Romeo and looks at Romeo. And Romeo, you hear a spell has been formed, and shoot through your head goes, you hear Rasa's voice go, "Are you being held against your will? I can take care of these guys for you."
Not at all. They're a bit strange. I understand that.
A bit.
You know, more than a bit, but you know, I've been around circus folk all my life. You know, I've met a lot of strange people.
Strange folks that are trying to tear off their face.
Maybe not necessarily like exactly that, but you know, strange people.
And out loud, you hear Rasa goes to all of you now. is this a normal thing?
Nope. No, it's not. Of course, just panic, and he just sighs like, Kamori, stop. There's nothing on your face.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna let me get mass spells.
To be very clear, Komori is essentially growling at
Oh, I am
Akora right now.
so out of spells. I can only do first level.
Yeah, you'll never
Kumari.
finish taking y'all's
Yeah.
long rest, so.
Yeah. Okay, I did that roll. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So you regain 12 hit points.
There we go. Something at least.
Alright, enough for another shot.
Enough for another go. I can't.
I'll be right back.
My limbs are restrained.
Kamori, can you talk me through what you're feeling?
Wait, I need to do math. Let's
Oh,
Got a little math.
but first, math.
first math.
12 plus
I'm
6
not
is
on the
18.
brink of death anymore. Here we go. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um. Hmm. Uh. Yeah, Kamori's not gonna say anything. Kind of glaring at Rasa and the weird one.
You see Rasa just looking back at you with her arms crossed and just an eyebrow is raised and goes, fascinating. Come along. And you see the man in the dragon mask is going, oh, bravo. Out of duel you are. Like always, one crazy bitch. Very, very fascinating. Now we should get going, because, we got so many things to show you. And, we might do some experiments on you, Adadu. We need to figure out why you would try to tear off your face. You know, for the safety
Do no
of her.
such thing. No,
Yeah,
you have. You're not gonna do such a thing at all. You're not gonna
I
touch
wouldn't-
them. I'm very much gonna get like in front of Komori here, being as big boy as I can.
Yeah,
I wouldn't rule out the possibility that they may be able to help. Certainly not any experiments or things of that nature, but perhaps a way to get the mask off that doesn't involve Komori tearing their own face off.
yeah. Komori has like gone from growling to snarling, and is actively like struggling and straining against Akora to get to the dude, whatever,
Okay.
black mask weirdo.
Okay. You're actively trying to struggle as Akora so holding you on tight. And you see the dragon mask wielder just looks at you and goes, I saw the glint in Rasa's eyes, so it was most likely not my call. So do you think you can protect this little Aradul from Rasa herself if she's asked more demands to help in her own way?
Komori is going to glare into Rasa, and respond, or well, more make a comment. You hate humans, and yet you are doing the same things they do.
Rasa immediately stops and in one swift motion turns around and holds what looks to be a very, very alien type of pistol that seems to be pointed directly at Komori, and just looks at you, looks at Komori and goes, "Let's make things one thing clear. I am nothing like those humans that dared mistreated my people for decades. I did not rape or plunder my kin. I did not enslave my people. I did not deny my people their right to live. I did not do horrible, horrible things to others. You do not know what I've been through. You do not know what my people been through. So let's make things one thing clear. Yes, I want to do experiments on you to try to help you get whatever you're trying to get off of your face without you dying. So I'm sorry if you think in your ignorance that you think my hospitality is the same as what humans did to me. That's it. And you see, she the futuristic gun and goes, I've had enough. I've had enough of all of you. I've given you a simple mission. I've given you a chance to stay in my home. And you dare insult me by comparing me to the humans of my time. No. Absolutely not. You are all leaving. And you are all never to return. Romeo, you are getting one chance and one chance only. You stay here and let these people leave, or you leave with them and you don't come back. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Ah, boy. Everything was going so well.